Hello and good morning. My name is Amy White, and today I will be discussing the relevance of Western civilization. The importance of understanding the ideas of Western civilization is to understand the past and present academic interpretations of the period. That as scholars and perhaps as future educators, we need to understand the pros and the cons, the insights and the various viewpoints that presently exist so that we can help determine the future analysis and interpretations, such as in this week's readings. Traditionally, those scholars of Western civilization draw their heritage from the Greeks and the Romans to Western European progress. What I thought was interesting in this week's reading was Lawrence Birken's points on the exclusion of the Byzantine and Islamic worlds as they coexisted with what is traditionally viewed as Western civilization. Birken observed the parallel developments of the West with the Byzantine and Islamic world and points out the shared classical heritage between the civilizations. Birken's discussion draws on the diverging opinions of David Richardson and David Wilkerson. Wilkerson defines a civilization based on any connecting or compounding developments as a single civilization, whereas Richardson defines a civilization based on geographical borders. Personally, I understand both their points of view, but the civilization definition is a stage of human social and cultural development and organization, and therefore goes beyond the borders of geographical control, but is based on the progression of human ideals and cultural advancements, and the progress that is made in the way of life of the people of a society, not merely the parcel of land that a given society retains. It seems that both Wilkerson and Richardson have their merits, and when combined, create a better definition of what civilization truly is. History is essentially the story of a progression of cultural heritage. What I found to be the most insightful way to define civilization was in this week's readings, defining civilization through the progression of cultural heritage, such as Birken's ancestral viewpoint, which demonstrates the growing progress and progression of humanity. Western civilization, like the Byzantine and Islamic civilization, stemmed from the Greeks and the Roman ideals and society, but they also had their own mix of Germanic heritage, while the Islamic world was greatly impacted by the Arab heritage. The importance of both ideologies between the progression of ideals to geographical definitions go together to form the true definition of what civilization is. Each has its pros and its cons. Wilkerson's assumption that it is a compilation of ideas demonstrates the progression of culture and heritage, but it does not encompass Richardson's views on geographical borders, which truly does impact the growth and survivability and influence of a people. The environment of a society, and therefore a civilization, is greatly determined by the success and rate of progress of those people. The geography determines whether those people can survive on a meager subsistent life, or can they flourish agriculturally with food stores and enabling stronger bodies and the ability to pursue other avenues of innovation, not just in agriculture, but other areas of industry. And this also goes beyond the reliability of hunting and gathering, of fishing and game. Understanding the common bonds between our global history and not necessarily finding ways to exclude or dominate over the other only strengthens our analysis and interpretation of history and civilization. The result is cultural diffusion, which is when different cultures are spread into different areas It is it is essentially the mixing and blending of different ideals and beliefs and innovations from one society or people to the other. It is common knowledge that life sprung out of the continent Africa, moving forward and flourishing first with the Greeks as a true civilization, then moving forward to the Romans, and then on to the West and Byzantine and Islamic civilizations. This common classical heritage demonstrates the reach of the classical ideologies into the next eras, and perhaps should demonstrate that while the West was founded on Greek and Roman ideals, it is simply the child of such ideas, not the inventor. Birken does a fantastic job demonstrating the classical heritage of the corresponding civilizations and how they have a common cultural legacy. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave any comments below and have a great day.